Hello, DraftKings contributor Garion Thorne. Hello, Rotowire's Erik Halterman. We have you here to cover the bases. Share with me and the millions at home watching your favorite bets in the following categories on tonight's main Major League Baseball slate. Gare Bear, first base, your favorite run line or money line?
I feel stupid even saying it, but
Ooh,
let's
don't say it.
go with. No, I have to. I've started. I'm pot committed. Let's
It's
go with
okay.
the
I'll just
Twins
come right
run
back.
line. The Twins are actually the worst run line team in baseball, so not a great start. But the Twins have been playing the best baseball of 2021, which is not a high bar, but they're 5-1 in their last 6 games, and the pitching matchup is heavily leaning towards the Twins' advantage tonight. Jose Barrios up against JC Mejia. Mejia was all right the first couple times Cleveland tried this. Hey, let's put Mejia in the rotation thing. But for the season, he's got an 8.53 ERA as a starter, and he's specifically struggled with left-handed bats. He is getting crushed in opposite hand matchups, and the Twins have so many left-handed bats that they can throw at Mejia. Whether it be Luis Arias leading off, Trevor Larnach, Alex Kirilloff, Jorge Polanco, like just so many left-handed bats. So I think they're in a really good spot tonight. I don't think Cleveland's pitching is going to be able to suppress Minnesota's bats, which have been good all season long. It's really just the pitching that's been the issue, but it shouldn't be tonight with Barrios on the mound. So Twins run line, as crazy as that sounds.
Erik, first base, favorite run line or money line, dude? Share it with me.
Yeah, I'm also looking at a run line. I like the Blue Jays over the Orioles. I like the money line, although it's gone all the way to minus 200. So I like minus 105 for the run line. Basically a push if you spot the Orioles a run. The Blue Jays have a much better lineup than the Orioles. They're fourth by WRC plus compared to 19th for Baltimore. And I think they do have the better pitcher, even though you wouldn't necessarily be able to tell by the ERAs, both of which are over 6. Uh, Dean Kremer for the Orioles, 6.20 ERA looks to be pretty close to what the ERA estimators have. 5.98 fit for him. He has fine control about a league average walk rate, but below average strikeout rate and a ground ball rate of just 31.8%. So he's going to give up a lot of contact in the air. Blue Jays have a lot of big bats who can punish him for that. Anthony Kay on the other side, 6.43 ERA, but most of the ERA estimators have him in the low 4s. He's not a great pitcher, but that's a completely fine back-end starter. Strikeout rate of 24.5% is right around slightly above league average. Walks a few too many guys, but 10.6% walk rate isn't anything terrible. And then he keeps the ball on the ground well, 50% ground ball rate. So far, he's given up way too many homers, but that seems to be mostly due to a 35.7% homer per fly ball rate. Pitchers own some of that number, but they really don't own all of it. You're not really a better pitcher if you give out a warning track fly ball versus a homer that just clears the fence. And Kay's had a bit of bad luck in that more of his have just cleared the fence. So I think he's better than his ERA. And so when you get a better pitcher, better lineup, I think pretty easy Blue Jays.
Well, Erik, as we continue to cover the bases here, let's go to second base. How about game total? Which one catches your eye on this main slate?
Yeah, looking at the over in the Red Sox Rays game, over 9 runs. The two teams combined for 9.9 runs per game. So all it takes is an average scoring day from both of them, which I think they're going to get. Michael Wacha for the Rays hasn't really done anything notable this year. 5.19 ERA. Some of the ERA estimators are better than that. Some of them are worse. His expected ERA of 6.70 is especially scary. He's striking out a career low 17.6% of opposing batters, not walking a lot, but also not keeping the ball on the ground well. The Red Sox have plenty of big bats who can punish him for that. Then Nick Pivetta on the other side, I'm willing to believe that this is the best Nick Pivetta we've seen, probably, but that's still nothing too special. ERA in the low 4s. He is striking out plenty of guys, 27%, but he's walking a ton at 11.3% walk rate and not keeping the ball on the ground well. And also over his last 6 starts, he's got an ERA up near 6. So even if this is, Nick Pivetta, legitimate back end starter, he's facing a good lineup in the Rays. 2 good lineups here, 2 mediocre at best pitchers. So I think you get a lot more than 9 runs.
All right, Garion, game total.
Yeah, I'm actually going to take an under. I don't think unders are going to be too prevalent on tonight's slate, considering there's like 3 actual major league caliber pitchers taking the mound. But this game between St. Louis and Pittsburgh is just kind of strange. The total's set at 8.5. I'm not going to sit here and defend Carlos Martinez. I'm not going to sit here and defend Chad Kuhl. However, these 2 offenses have been putrid in the month of June. They are 27th and 29th, respectively, in WRC+. They are 28th and 29th in isolated power. I just don't see how these 2 lineups can produce enough runs where this game goes over. I know both pitchers have been bad. Carlos Martinez specifically has a 16 ERA in the month of June, but these are 2 bad lineups, and I don't think they get there.
All right, gentlemen, running a little tight on time. Just pick up that pace just a wee bit as we get to the hot corner. A pitcher prop. Come on, Gare Bear, give it to me.
I'll take Walker Buehler to go over 7.5 strikeouts against the Cubs. In the month of June, the Cubs lead baseball in strikeout rate, swinging strike rate, called plus swinging strike rate. And Buehler, though he had a rough start to the season, actually has a 27% strikeout rate if you take out his first 3 starts of 2021. So I think he gets to this number.
Erik, how about you?
First thing I look at with pitcher props is who's facing the Tigers, because they strike out more than any other team in the league. And tonight that would be Luis Garcia. His strikeout prop is set at 6.5, and you actually get plus odds on that, plus 124, which is a surprise. He's hit that over in half of his outings this season, and he's facing the easiest possible opponent for racking up strikeouts. So I think I do not understand why you get plus odds with that one.
Big E, we're crossing the plate, dude. Home plate, hitter prop. Ooh, I need this.
I always like a Vlad Jr. homer hitter prop. That's at plus 330 right now, which means you'll hit it if he homers in, comes out to 23.3% of his games. So somewhere between 1 out of every 4 and 1 out of every 5 games. So far in the month of June, he's homered in 7 of 20 games, so 35%. So if you've got those odds every single day in June, you'd be up big. And I think he's going to have a above average likelihood of hitting a homer against a guy like Dean Kramer, who isn't very good overall and is particularly bad at keeping the ball on the ground.
I don't think this Blue Jays fan has an issue with that prop. What's your hitter prop, Gare?
I don't, because they're going to need to hit a couple home runs, because I think some Orioles might hit some home runs tonight, in particular Ryan Mountcastle, who is plus 520 to hit a home run. I think Erik did a good job pointing out that Anthony Kay has been a little unlucky, but at the same time, he's still given up 2.41 home runs per 9. Mountcastle has hit left-handed pitching much better than right-handed pitching so far this season, and he has a 316 isolated power and a 177 WRC plus in the month of June. He is hitting the ball so well the last 5 weeks. The surface stats haven't caught up because he was terrible the first 2 months of the season, but Mountcastle is hitting again.
Extra bases? Long shot bet, Garion?
I mean, that's pretty long shot, but I will say the Orioles at plus 170 on the money line. Look, the Jays are the better team. Kay is probably the better pitcher, but Anthony Kay should never be a minus 200 favorite on the money line. The Orioles have the 3rd best WRC plus in baseball against left-handed pitching. The Jays are just 13-16 at home this season. So I would take a shot in the dark with the Orioles, honestly.
Erik, long shot bet.
Well, definitely a long shot, but Cubs at plus 215 against the Dodgers. I know it's Walker Buehler, but I'm definitely not saying the Cubs are close to a 50-50 here, but I think they're a lot more than like a 30-70, which they have to be for these odds to be right. Buehler is excellent, but that 2.38 ERA is over a run better than both his FIP and xFIP. He's benefited from a 228 batting average on balls in play. He's got a career low 25.2% strikeout rate, which is still good, but this isn't necessarily the best Buehler we've ever seen, despite that ERA being that good. So I think the Cubs have at least a shot here. I wish it wasn't Zach Davies. Nothing really special there, but he's been weird. His last start, he gave up 8 runs. In the 2 starts before that, he gave up a combined 0 runs on 3 hits. So if we get the good Davies, which we've gotten sometimes, I think this is a game.